Hubhopper Originals.
To start your podcast for free, log on to studio.hubhopper.com.
Hello and welcome to the Success with Savitha podcast, where we share hot tips on how to do life and business without losing your mind. I'm your host, Savitha Nanjappa, entrepreneur, high-achieving 9-to-5er turned transformational success coach, helping you create a wildly successful business. Come hang out with me and other fabulous humans like you every week for stories and chats packed with a healthy dose of tips, resources, how-tos, and real talk. Side effects may include a happier and more confident you with each passing day. Hi, and welcome to the Success with Savitha podcast. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about personal branding and thought leadership. When I started my business in 2017, the area I chose to work with my clients on was building executive presence. Having spent 17 years in the corporate world, 17 plus actually, when I started my business, I felt my skill sets and my experience would be best served to those executives who were transitioning from middle management to senior management roles and leadership roles. The gap that I felt was in the space of executive presence. So when people were transitioning, the one area that held them back was their lack of presence and lack of a personal brand. And this was an area that I wanted to help executives on. But strangely, when I started telling people that I'm going to help them build their personal brand, a lot of people felt like it wasn't important, felt like they didn't need to do that because they were hard workers and they would be noticed naturally. In fact, a bunch of them ridiculed me saying, do you really need to be doing this? A senior mentor of mine who was a senior leader in an organization actually made fun of me for having a social media account and choosing to promote my business using social media. So let's talk about personal branding and thought leadership. Why is it important and why does it matter? And what is it even? Let me start with personal branding. Personal branding is marketing you and your career, and here you can swap out the word career for business as well. It is developing your reputation and consolidating your impressions so that you are showing the world what you want to be known for. In short, it's self-packaging your values for your audience. But why does it matter? I don't do social media as a mantra we often hear, especially from C-suite executives. In fact, it was found that nearly 61% of CEOs lack a social media presence. But on the flip side, 82% of employees trust a company more when the leadership team has a social media presence. And trust is the most important asset you have in your business and in your brand. Because trust inspires your employees and your community. Trust reassures your customers and clients, and trust makes your business a success. Trust is perhaps more important today than it's ever been before. Today we are buying services and products from people we've never met, in locations we've never been to. Trust is what lets us have confidence in undertaking those transactions. Your personal brand is your tool for demonstrating your personal trustworthiness, and personal branding is the future of work. That's why it matters. Now let's look at thought leadership, what it is and why it's important. Where personal branding is the future of work, thought leadership is the future of the community. What I mean by that is thought leadership is the act of providing information and ideas to your community and being able to lead them. It's the process of sharing your expertise and leading your niche and industry into greater understanding. When you establish yourself as an expert in your industry, potential clients and customers inherently trust you more. They will seek you out for the knowledge and value you add to their own lives. And now I'll come to having impact in a noisy world. How can you therefore have impact in a noisy world? According to research, the content creation industry is projected to be worth $412 billion by the end of 2021. This means the world is noisier, individual voices have less cut through, brands and organizations are more commoditized, and consumers have more choice. All that makes it hard to have an impact. Therefore, your platforms are where you share your thought leadership. And your positioning is the intersection of personal branding and thought leadership. When you bring personal branding and thought leadership together, you're suddenly elevating the benefits of each. It's this intersection that creates really high trust, insights, impact, influence, and ultimately authority. And it's at this intersection that you can really reach others leading to cut through and future success. Here are some key actions that I feel if you want to build your personal brand, build your thought leadership, or grow your thought leadership. Here are some key actions that you should be taking. Begin by identifying the key messages that are the pillars of your personal brand or what you want to be known for. Identify the relevant platforms that will help you increase your influence. Create content that will allow you to share your thought leadership and build impact. Personal branding is incredibly important for all people in business. Whether you're a CEO of a large corporation or a sole trader or a small business owner, it does not matter. It's the future of work. And as the future of community, thought leadership is equally important. Separately, these two aspects of business can do amazing things for building trust and leading you on the path to success. But together, they are unstoppable. Together, they bring you impact, influence, and cut through, ensuring your success. If you needed a case for why you need to build your personal brand or why you need to grow your influence through thought leadership, I've just made the case for it. If you have any more questions around why you need to build your personal brand or how you can build your personal brand, reach out to me. In fact, you can come into my Instagram account, Success with Savitha, leave me a DM, and I will loop you into some of our upcoming programs where we are going to be talking about how you can build your personal brand. Let me know your thoughts on personal branding and thought leadership and what steps are you taking today to help you grow your influence, your credibility, your authority, and turn all of this leading to you building trust with your audience. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you like this episode and you want more, you can go to the show notes on my website, which is successwithsavitha.com/podcast. If you like what you've heard so far, I would be grateful to you if you could leave me a 5-star review, subscribe to this podcast, and share with a friend who may find this useful. You can also follow me on my Instagram at Success with Savitha and DM me any questions you may have, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Until the next episode, believe in yourself and all the best to your success.
इस हब हॉपर ओरिजिनल को सुनने के लिए आपका शुक्रिया। अगर आप भी अपना पॉडकास्ट लॉन्च करना चाहते हैं, तो हब हॉपर स्टूडियो वेबसाइट पे रजिस्टर करें और 1 मिनट के अंदर अंदर अपना खुद का पॉडकास्ट लॉन्च करें। यही नहीं, स्टूडियो देता है आपको पूरी आजादी कहीं भी कभी भी अपना पॉडकास्ट लॉन्च करने की, सिर्फ 3 आसान स्टेप्स में। तो साथ में अपना पॉडकास्ट शुरू करने के लिए तैयार? जस्ट हॉप ऑन हब हॉपर, सिंपली कंटेंट।